we talked about the great bands that were watching from the sidelines, but apart from that, any differences from being on the side and being in the crowd?
Yeah, a huge difference. So everybody wants to go backstage, and it's to experience what they're seeing. The show's meant to be seen from the front of the stage. That's the whole point of everything. So if you want to see, the best place to see a show it's called front of house. It's the little booth in the audience where they have the soundboard and they have the lighting gear. That's where you want to see a show, not on the side of the stage or backstage. So it's funny to me because people fight to get back there. So if you're ever on backstage, you get a pass or whatever, hang out there by all means for maybe like one song and then go back and watch it from where it's meant to be seen because it's a lot better.
Yes.
But it's also a lot less loud.
And better to see the front of people and not like everything behind.
Yeah, you're getting to see the whole performance. If you're seeing it on the side, maybe you're getting this, in your eyes, an opportunity because you're separate from everybody else who wasn't as cool as you to get to sit on the stage. But that being said, they're probably getting a better experience than you are. So, and then on the shows that I was working as a stage manager, as I started to get a little better, things, I didn't like people on the stage. I try to keep them off because if you're in the audience, it looks better, it's cleaner. And the second thing is, I didn't want to have anybody have even the tiniest hint of being jealous of anybody else. You're there to fully absorb and have a wonderful time. So I really didn't like people up on the stage. And just for security reasons too, why are you here? Just get them away. And not that they're going to do anything nasty, but just they might get in the way and we got stuff to do. So.
Yeah, from the viewer's perspective, it's like always like I'm wondering, who are these people? Why are they there?
Why are they there? You're looking at it, you're like, well, that's definitely the record dude. I wonder if that's his wife.
Yes.
I wonder if that's his girlfriend and his wife. So you're just looking at them, you're wondering who's who. What I would do a lot is I like to find little kids in the audience, and I'd bring one of the little kids and one of their parents up on stage. And I would just do it for a song, maybe 2 songs. But my idea was that one of these little guys might get the bug that you guys clearly have since you're doing a music podcast and maybe learn how to play the guitar that you and I never or have not yet. Right? But maybe one of them would. And that to me was really rewarding. I like kids and having the big eyes, shine like, wow, we're on stage. And the parent too would be like, this is amazing. And I loved doing that. I tried to do that every single show. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it.
Very nice.
Very good idea, yeah.
Yeah, it's like passing the torch, This is how you do it right one day, little dude. So, have your parents buy you a guitar for Christmas.
Very nice. So have you toured with outside of US? No,
Yeah, so with Guns N' Roses, we did Rock in Rio. So that was in Rio de Janeiro. And then with the Cranberries, I went into Puerto Rico, so it's technically sort of the U.S., but we went into Puerto Rico, and then we went throughout Mexico, which was big. I'm very into art. I'm actually now I deal a lot I'm an art dealer, and I deal in a lot of memorabilia. And so for me going into Mexico City, for example, was a huge deal for me because I got to see all these Mexican murals. And that was like, I was so excited. And again, when I saw them, they were just as amazing as I had hoped. Fantastic opportunity. So that was good. So touring outside the U.S. is it's interesting.
But not in Europe.
I never toured in Europe. I've done a lot of traveling throughout Europe, but never working. Never.
You've been to Ireland?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I went there. Oh God, I don't remember what year. But yeah, I went there. It was very beautiful. It was very pretty. I liked it. And then the nice thing I liked about Ireland is you walk into any bar and they kick ass. There's really good musicians hanging out. So I loved that. I mean, it was hard to get me out of there. This is great. And then you guys drink a lot. So me too.
Not now.
And now we are locked, but we had before the corona a very strong music scene in Ireland.
We're the same. We can't do anything here too. It sucks. So I haven't been going out as much because it's just not as fun. We were talking before you turned it on. I actually didn't see your Iron Maiden flag. when I brought it up. I really didn't. Not to plug Iron Maiden, but hey, their beer I had last night was excellent. But that's what I've been doing. I've been going out to the grocery store. I hear we buy it in grocery stores, not liquor stores. Right? And I just pick random beers and I drink them at home with a couple friends or whatever. And it's fun. I'm actually enjoying it. And, every now and then you get a really odd one and you're kind of, but who cares? It was a couple dollars rather than $20 at a bar or whatever. So bit of fun, something different.
Yeah. You get time to rest, to relax.
Yeah. I did work for the Cranberries, which Irish band. And so they, not the kind of music you guys are probably into, but hopefully you appreciate. I mean, she was a fantastic singer.
Yeah.
And she also, they said the same thing. She was really difficult. She was really hard to work for. So it's like you going to get a job and they tell you your boss is tough. Just don't talk to the boss. Get really quiet. And then while we were in Mexico, actually, she said to me, she's like, so Fergal is the drummer for the Cranberries and one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life. Very humble, very nice fella. And she said, she's like, so Fergal says that you speak. And I want to hear it because I didn't talk to anybody. I was very young. When it was time to get on stage, I just point to her this way or whatever. And so she's like, we're going to drink some tequila. And I remember she said it with that Irish accent, tequila. And I was like, well, I don't really drink tequila. Well, with me, you do. And so we sat down in this we sat down in this Mexican bar. Man, we drink a lot of tequila. Now I love tequila, but it's funny, people, what's your favorite drink? I'm like, well, when you're with Dolores, you drink tequila. And so they were kind of neat, but I had asked her, did you guys ever tour with U2? And she was like, oh, no. We're both way too big, I think, to have performed together. We're too big of an act. And I was thinking like, So when we got out of the country, they're huge. I had no idea. I mean, Mexico City with the Cranberries was on par with Guns N' Roses. It was amazing how many people were fans of them. Wow. And that was interesting. It's cool to see in your environment what you think is a huge band until you're somewhere else.
Yes.
So I found like around the world, like Poison, I worked for Poison. A lot of them don't know who Poison is. But in the States, people love Poison. STP too. When he did Velvet Revolver, I think it opened doors to other countries. But a lot of STP, they didn't know who they were.
Yeah. So we spoke about the Cranberries. Can you tell me this story about the ping-pong table?
The Irish love their ping pong tables. I don't know. You guys tell me. Is it true? So on the Cranberries. The what?
Was difficult to set
It's
up.
hard to move a ping pong table. So how it works is in the States, we travel by truck. And, maybe wherever. But anyway, in the States, they put the gear in the truck. Well, the way a ping pong table's set up is that it moves around. And it's not really meant to move every single day. And so I joke in the book, but it's true, it's factual. I would spend more time trying to figure out how the ping pong table wouldn't be damaged by the time it got to the next gig than packing up all the crap from the gig. And so I got like 20 pillows and I had put like 2x4s in between it. And then I'd wrap it so that the 2x4s didn't fall on the floor. But the trucks moved so much. It was hard to get this ping pong table okay, but the band loved playing ping pong. So a lot of the job was trying to make sure that this ping pong table was able to be played at the next gig.
Wow.
And on STP, Scott was really into his running machine. So that was the other one. I have to make sure that the running machine was set up somewhere and it didn't get damaged on the truck because the guy ran all damn day, man. He just run and run.
Yeah, I wonder that's nobody had a billiard table like a pool playing pool as everyone.
I don't know. I mean, like I say, there's being realistic about it, but I mean, I guess anything's possible, but that would have been really hard. No, I think the oddest one for me was that ping pong table, moving it about and then losing like the balls and having to buy balls all the time. And I talk about it on STP again. They decided to hang up Christmas lights for their little acoustic set. They would do 3 or 4 songs in the middle of the show with Christmas lights. It looked great. But try getting Christmas lights in like March. And Christmas lights are not really easy to put on and up every day either.
Mhm.
And so the joke became I was the Christmas light tech, because I was trying to fashion ideas of how to keep these stupid Christmas lights from not breaking all the time. And then I'm calling Kmart or whatever and saying, hey, can you guys go in the back and see if you have any Christmas lights? And they're like, we don't have Christmas lights, sir. It's February. And you'd be like, well, there's some free STP tickets in it for you. Give me some Christmas lights. Okay. And then I forgot where, but I got the mother load. I bought like 500 strands of Christmas lights.
Wow.
And I was set after that. That was good. But I started like winding them around toilet paper or paper towel rolls. And then I'd try to put them in a case where they wouldn't hit each other, because you break one light, the whole damn strand looks like crap. So, yeah, the silly ideas we come up with. Or candles on the stage. Candles are a nightmare too. But they look great.
Yeah.
But you can burn from candles.
Well, yeah, but the second thing with a candle is just trying to keep it lit.
Yeah.
So if it's a bit windy and you have 100 candles on the stage, you're running around lighting candles all night. It's a little bit difficult.
And what about Disturbed? Did they had any extra sets? Anything that extra that needs to be set up for?
So with Disturbed, so what he had, the singer, you know, his name's David. So David would sit in an electrocution chair, and then they would recite through the PA system, you know, you, David Draiman, have been found guilty of, and they said all these horrible things, all these terrible things that he did. And then he would break out and he would start singing. And so I liked those guys a lot. So in my book, we're watching MTV in the bus, and Disturbed came on. And I'm at the time, you know, STP is the greatest band ever. And you shouldn't even be on a stage if your band name doesn't start with an S, you know. And they had Disturbed on there because they were just starting to really pop. They were really starting to get big. And I'm like, you know, it's crap like this I'm talking about. You know, it's garbage, just garbage. And my boss was like, you should be very careful who you talk about. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, the next leg of the tour, it's this band, Disturbed, opening up. And they're all cool. They're all like really, really good, down to earth, salt of the earth, great guys. They're cool, man. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'm going to be, because what happened on the side of the electrocution chair is they had a Grim Reaper on each side. And our job was to carry the chair away as soon as he got up so that, you know, they could do their gig. And so I was the Grim Reaper at every show. And I'd give David a bit of crap every time. You know?
Oh, that's cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool. He really is a great guy. A really, really good dude.
Yeah,
and,
I love that band.
I became a really big fan too. I really did at the end of it. If you look at them individually on the stage, they all kicked ass. The drummer was badass. And they're all guys you would go and have a beer with. I mean, they're all just really laid back, nice people. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and David's bald, so we had he's Jewish. Well. We had all these things in common, man. There's not a lot of Jews on the road, so we were like, I'm like, you know what, dude, I'll kill you every night. I'll be your Grim Reaper, bro.
Amazing. I never listened to Disturbed, but maybe I will check them out.
Yeah, sure.
Super fun band. They really are. Good stuff.
So now about something general. Most intense crowd, mosh pit that you have seen ever?
Biggest crowd. So that would be Rock in Rio. So at Rock in Rio, there was over 200,000 people in attendance. Oh, so that's just nuts. I mean, you just I say it's a sea of people, and it truly is. So when you perform for like 30,000 people, there's a lot of people, but you can still see faces. Yeah. And you can pick out people. When it's hundreds of thousands of people, it's just an ocean. It's a mass. It's just insane. And I talk about how we had security and we had helicopters behind the stage. This is for Guns N' Roses. And they said to us, you know, if there's any issue, don't grab anything from the stage and just go back to the helicopter. They didn't even say run, just go back to the helicopter and then we're going to fly out of here. I'm looking like there's like You know, there's hundreds of thousands of people right there, and your helicopters are way back there. I don't know if that's going to work out. And so I'm thinking the whole time, I really hope Axel's not a dick. I don't want to die in Rio. So it was kind of, it was exciting, but I was nervous. I was honestly a little bit nervous to see what would happen. They had a riot there earlier where I might be wrong, but I think someone threw a bottle at Axel and he left. He was pissed off and he left.
Okay.
Wow.
And so there was a little bit of what's going to happen here. With all that being said, show went totally fine. Audience was awesome. And it's so cool when that many people are just waiting in the same anticipation as me to hear the beginning of Welcome to the Jungle. and you get these goosebumps for real of just absolute excitement. And then when Axel, you hear the lick, and then when you hear Axel run on the stage, you're kind of like, yeah, baby, this is gonna get so good, so fast. This is amazing. And it was. And then Rio, I loved Rio. The food was fantastic, and we were down there for weeks while they were rehearsing. I don't know what we were doing. We just partied at the pool every day. It was tough. It was a hard gig. So I mean, we just got drunk at the pool all day, every day.
Mm. But he was late, Axel? Or no?
I think at Rock in Rio, I think he was on time at Rock in Rio. I know for the New Year's show, like they didn't even come on till like 4 a.m.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I read that. Everyone was getting drunk and waiting for him.
Yeah, because they had what band played before? I think Bush. No, it was the Goo Goo Dolls. So they had the Goo Goo Dolls play, and then everybody left. Then they clean it up real quick. Then they had a rave. Then they kick everybody out again, and then Guns came on. But I was thinking for New Year's, you'd want to be like, Happy New Year, but now 4 a.m. But it was in Las Vegas, and so maybe Las Vegas doesn't care. But that surprised me. And, a lot of people that say that's the first thing. He's so well known for lagging. Axel's so famous for it. And so my deal was like, if you don't like it, quit. But you're getting paid. So if the guy shows up late, we don't have a time clock. So if he shows up late, what do I care? I don't know. And if you don't like it, go work for another band. So it never really bothered me. I never cared. But at the rehearsal studio, I was there so much anyway that I would just hang out. And then when he showed, he showed. But again, as a fan, when you wait and you wait and you wait, it's like going out on a first date with that gorgeous girl. She actually shows up and you're like, oh my God, she actually showed up. So with Axel, when he finally came, you're kind of looking at him like, wow, he's going to sing. This is going to be neato.
But for Axel, people paid like a lot of thousands. What I read in the book, it was crazy. 3,000 the tickets. It was like, what?
For the New Year's show, yeah, people were paying thousands of dollars because it was a really small venue. And it sold out immediately. They hadn't performed in years. And I don't know. I think it was the first time the new lineup performed.
Or maybe small venue.
I don't think Axel had played at a small... Oh, that was a small venue, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like small venue, maybe people were like, maybe I can poke him somewhere. Let's pay more.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I think it was just, if you were in Vegas at the time, everyone had a Guns N' Roses shirt on everywhere you went. So I think it's just big fan base who wanted to see them play. And I get it. I personally would never spend thousands of dollars on a ticket, but I've been to so many shows. I honestly don't even like to go to concerts anymore. So you change. But if it floats your boat, spend the money and go check out the show.
Yeah. Great stuff. And the other thing about Cranberries, have you made the teddy bears? Bears for Cranberries.
The teddy bears?
Yeah.
Oh, you did read the book. All right, so the teddy bears, that's funny because I thought you said that, but there's a guy named Teddy who played with Guns N' Roses, and I'm like, I actually don't know Teddy. He wasn't there when I was there. But I saw this guy Teddy play a couple weeks ago, and he was amazing. But no, the teddy bears is totally different, and that's funny. So what was happening was I was trying to think outside the box. What could I do to make a bit more money or to build possibly a career or something. And I was thinking, at one point I wanted to make rolling papers for marijuana or cigarettes, and put bands' logos on them, and you can buy them while you're at the venue and smoke
Nice.
Tom Petty rolling papers. And one of the easier ideas was teddy bears. And I knew this fella who had started a teddy bear company, and he built it huge. And he was telling me, he's like, oh, I can get you teddy bears. I'm like, dude, the Cranberries teddy bear would be off the chart, man. So he goes, well, make it work. I'm like, let's do it. This was over a lot of beer.
Yes.
And so I was like, we're going to make some teddy bears. And I don't know if I even pitched the band on it. I can't remember, but I don't think I ever got past the alcohol and the teddy bear idea. But I thought it would be neat, because I was trying to think, if you go to a show, they have the same stuff, CDs and T-shirts, maybe a sweatshirt, a hoodie. So I was like, make some fun stuff. So that's what I was trying to. The rolling papers was tough. I couldn't get anybody to endorse it. Even Fish. Fish was like a Grateful Dead type of sounding band. And they wouldn't touch it. Tom Petty was thinking about it, but I couldn't get anyone to do it.
Good idea.
Right.
But if I ever make a teddy bear, I'm sending it to you, man. It'll be black.
Let's make teddy bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds amazing. Something different, like teddy bear or something to smoke.
Or the Metal Galaxy.
Well, we could. Well, it's funny, actually. So there's a guy named Howard Marks, and Howard Marks is a biography you got to read. It's fantastic. And he's one of the biggest convicted hashish dealers in history. He was an English guy. He passed away. It's called Mr. Nice. And I mean, he destroyed the charts. He was the #1 book in the UK for like months and months and months. He wrote it while he was incarcerated in the United States. I think he's the only person ever to be extradited from Spain successfully by the US. I know he was at the time of the book. I don't know if he still is. But his book is incredible. I mean, amazing. And highly suggest that. Anyway, he said I could do rolling papers with his name on it. And I got to talk to him. And they asked me sometimes, what rock star would you meet that you'd be lame over? And there's honestly not really a lot. But Howard Marks, when I was talking to him on the phone, I was pretty giddy. I'm like, you're like one of the coolest people who's ever lived. I can't believe you've had the life you had. That was neat. And then the rock star one, I says, I met Jimmy Page once, and I was pretty goo-goo gaga. I was pretty lame.
Good stories, very good stories. You have a lot of stories.
Oh, thanks, man. We all do, That's why I think what's cool now. I mean, you can write your own book. You can start keeping your own journal. There's nothing stopping you, and there's no reason not to. I mean, just don't show it to anyone or delete it or whatever. But this beast of Amazon makes it really easy, actually, to put your own stuff up there. And I mean, if nobody ever reads it, who cares? I didn't do it to have people read. I was surprised, really, that many people liked it or like it. It was really for my nephews that they thought one day I'd be okay. Definitely wasn't for my girlfriend. She definitely doesn't care.
Yeah. I read some stuff, yeah.
It reads like very easy, like it's like you read very easily through, and it's funny, and it's like very light to read and so on.
The intent was that we're having a beer together and we're just hanging out, and that's the way I've tried to write it.
Yeah.
And then I've tried to make it where you chuckle every few pages, either at my expense or not, but either way you get a little bit of a giggle, and that's what I was after. And then if you're a big fan of any of the particular bands, you learn some little funny stories that you definitely didn't know. And some of them are cute. Some of them are, I think, entertaining. The teddy bear.
It's always the best thing.
Yeah.
Backstage.
Well, and like a lot of people, they'll throw teddy bears up on the stage and stuff. So I actually had this collection of all these little stuffed animals, and then I'd bring them back and give them away. But I know Stevie Nicks does it, where she'll encourage people to throw stuffed animals up on the stage, and then she donates all of those for, I believe, Toys for Tots, which is for little kids. And so it's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So after all, which band is your favorite?
Ooh. That's very difficult. So a lot now, I listen to classical music. So like Pavarotti is banned in my house. because my girlfriend was like, I like them too, but a solid week of Pavarotti is too much.
Okay.
Like, I was just warming up, but so I listened to a lot of classical, and I like folk music. I like a lot of folk music. So there's a woman named Nancy Griffith. I think she's great. I think Dolly Parton's amazing. So there's that. If you're asking what band I toured with, which might be a little bit more interesting, I love STP still. You know, the fact that they surprised me by being so good just really got into my grain. So I still think they're the most superior band I ever got to work for, as far as competent musicians and just meaningful to me. And it was the first tour I did too, so I grew as a human being so much by touring with them. I feel that they kind of helped mold me into who I am now, for better or for worse. As a fan of music, it was really cool to see Axl perform and still really like him. Yeah, and then like meeting people like Buckethead, who just was an amazing guitar player. I couldn't stump him. I would try and come up with random musicians, and he, no problem, just play anything. Just, you know, so incredibly talented. And that says a lot when you're touring with the best in the world. When you think someone's talented, they're over and above talented because you're already surrounded by talented people. So those were really neat. And then, you know, I talk about it briefly. I was working for NSYNC. And I thought, God, how bad can my life be that I'm now working for NSYNC after having toured with these great bands? Having said that, they were so good. They were such good dancers. And this girl I was friendly with at the time, you know, she was in love with Lance Bass. Yeah. Lance. She was in love with him. And then I saw them dance. I'm like, oh, well, no wonder why. I mean, look at this dude, man. This guy fucking crazy. And so it was all fun. It was all fun. But what do I listen to now? It's like Pavarotti. Yeah, it's a little dull. Although this morning I was listening to Van Morrison. So he's getting some negative press because he's done some songs about not wearing masks. So I actually didn't find those. I didn't find those tracks. There you go. It's very punk or metal, you know. Screw you. But I didn't find that album. But I was listening to one he came out with last year, and so now I'm back to it. But yeah, I love Van Morrison, and the thing that's cool about music, you can say, oh, I only listen to, or I mostly listen to classical, for example. Okay. But dude, you know, if something else comes out, it was Glenn Danzig had an album. It was Elvis covers. I'm like, how did I not hear about this? So excited. I didn't like the album at all. But I was so excited, and it's that same energy as when you're a little kid looking for that record CD or whatever now. I don't even know. I can download. I don't know. But I was pretty excited about the Danzig album. So it wasn't for me, but hey.
Cool. So that are really good stories. So let's round up. What I was surprised was that you were on tour in Alaska. Like Alaska, no one tours there. So I was like, what?
So that was a great opportunity. What had happened was on a previous tour, Scott went off on a bender, I say. So that means I think he had a drug problem and they canceled some of the shows. And so they had canceled this show in Alaska. And, or two shows. I think we did 2 shows in Alaska. I can't remember, but we either did 1 or 2. And so when you're working and you have the opportunity to go to like Puerto Rico, which was not on my list of places to go, it's kind of neat because you're going to get to check out this place that I don't think was on your hit list. And so Alaska wasn't a place I had really ever thought about very much. And so when we went there, I liked being far away. I liked doing something different. And I loved Alaska. I actually went a few years ago again. I rented a little Mini Cooper car and we just drove. But I mean, you can stop in the middle of the freeway and look at an eagle because there's nobody there who cares. There's nobody there. And we had so much fun. And the show in Alaska I think it was special. I think that the audience were appreciative of having the band there. And it was a very, very cool show. It was really good. So, and then I talk about that we ate We had really good fish. We have really good eating there. It was great. So one day maybe make it to Alaska. Alaska's amazing.
But
And then my new
was it
one
like-
is New Zealand. I love New Zealand now. That's my new. Love everything about it.
But were there a lot of people to the gig, like a lot of metalheads, or are they any different than us?
No, it was a full house. It was definitely a full venue. I don't remember the head count, but it wasn't small. It was a usual show. Yeah, they all cruised out. And when we were up there, we went to a reindeer farm, and they were just close. This was with my girlfriend. This was not with the band. And they were just closing, and the girl who was there, she's like, I mean, I guess I'll give you guys a tour. She goes, but we're kind of closing. So I was like, well, I'll buy you beers. And she's, well, okay, deal. So she took us on this reindeer farm tour. And then we went out. We took her out and we got beers and pizza and we hung out with her all night. And she was super interesting. And she was telling us how in Alaska, dating in Alaska. So she goes back to this guy's house and he has no running water. He has no electricity. And I'm like, wow, that's romantic stuff. So it was very interesting to hear this drastic cultural change. Almost, so he managed to find you on a computer dating site, but he doesn't have running water in his house. She's like, it sucks. Alaska sucks. So we still stay in touch with her, man. She's cool. The reindeer farm girl. So
Very interesting.
Very interesting to see that Alaska is something, that there is something happening there. So yeah, very interesting. And all the stuff you told us about bands, we learned something about being a roadie, about some bands that we listen ourselves, Disturbed, Guns N' Roses, and Cranberries. So it was like a good chat as well. So thank you for sitting down with us. And yeah, we want to thank the viewers as well for seeing this video or who are going to watch this video.
I'll bet you Keanu Reeves is a metalhead. He's too cool not to be, right?
Yeah.
He's at home drinking that Iron Maiden beer too, dude. I really appreciate it, guys. It was fun talking to you. Thank you for your time. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
Very good time. So thank you very much for coming.
When I'm in Ireland, I'm looking you up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And the Metal Galaxy, hopefully an event.
Have fun.
One.
Might be folk music we go to listen to, but you guys are going to like it, damn it.
Yeah.
I listen to Irish folk music.
I'm in. I love the Chieftains, I love the Chieftains.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye.